Welcome to Aurora's podcast, A Filipina's Journey to America. Episode 18. Would you like to stay? I nodded. Then no one has the right ever to send you back home. You can stay in America as long as you want to. He added, Miss Filipina, are you a US citizen yet? I replied, no sir, not yet. He goes, in that case, Miss Filipina, not only you can stay in America, we can even help you out on how to obtain citizenship. Now grab your stuff and we should go. Wait. You can't take Filipina with you, sir. Jack would be pissed off. Before you leave, let me call Jack. I need to inform him of the situation. Joe grabbed his cordless phone and dialed a number. Yeah, bro, it's me, Joe. We have a situation here. There's a cop here and they are taking Filipina away. What do you want to do? Joe pressed the speaker button so that we all could hear Jack's voice over the phone. No way, man. Filipina has to leave. I got her a ticket and she will leave tomorrow early morning. Mr. Jack Ash. Sir, Jack continues on talking, sir. This is Sergeant John, can you hear me? The cop pleads with Jack to listen to him. Yes sir, I hear you, go on. Jack answered finally. I have your wife here and according to your wife Miss Filipina that she wanted to stay. Since she has legal papers, she can actually stay and no one can force her to go back to her country. We can even help her out on how to obtain to get her citizenship. Do you hear that, Sir Ash? Jack responded angrily. I hear you sir, but she is my wife and I have the right to send her where she came from because she is under my care and that's my responsibility. The cops argued with Jack. No sir, Jack Ash. You don't own Filipina. She can stay. And if you pursue to send her to the Philippines against her will, it will be the law against you and not her. Did you get that, sir? Jack paused for a little bit and mumbled. What's that, sir? The cop asked Jack to speak clearly. You can't do that, sir. I do not want Filipinas to get rich. She has to go. Jack raised his voice at the cop. A prominent lady, who has been sitting in the cop's car and had been listening all this time, came out when Jack insisted that they can take me away. Turns out that the lady was a manager from a battered safe house in another state. She came along with the officer to rescue me as well. The lady clears her throat before she could talk to Jack over the phone. Sir Jack. Can you hear me? This is Miss Jane, the manager of a safe house. Miss Jane paused waiting for Jack's reply. You guys just can't do this to me. This is my responsibility and I do have the right to send Filipina back to her country. I have spent big money on her return ticket and I can't get a refund for it. If she doesn't use the ticket. Jack explained to Miss Jane. We don't care how much you spend for her ticket, sir. She did not ask for it and definitely you don't have the right to return her to her country. We are here to help Filipina and this is our responsibility that she will be safe and taken care of. When Jack realized that he couldn't stop the cop and Miss Jane, he was swearing and was so pissed off. Jack sniffling quietly and said to the law enforcement officer. Sergeant. I just do not want Filipina to get rich, and none of her family will get some of her earnings, and not even herself. That's why I want her to go back to her country. I didn't understand why Jack repeatedly saying in the last hour. I do not want Filipina to get rich, what a freaking ridiculous statement. Even I have treated Jack well in the last 30 months living with him despite of his craziness and over-possessive and being a control freak. It was his unconsciously nature to wish me ill. Jack was the most self-centered egomaniac and self-greed I have ever met. An abuser like Jack is a type of man that doesn't have the inner capacity to care about anyone or my needs. He truly didn't care for me. He married me for his self-interest or greediness. Let's go, said the cop for the third time. Sergeant John. I've got one more thing to say and I hope you will be able to help me out. I pleaded to the police. What is it, Miss Filipina? I was hesitant to tell him but I had to anyway. Jack, my ex-husband, has all my documents, e.g. passport, driver license, SS card, my birth certificate, permanent resident card and my immigration documents. Does he have the right to keep my documents? I would like to get it back from him. What should I do? The cop replied quickly with strong voice. He goes, no ma'am. He doesn't have the right to keep your documents. In that case we can press charges against him. Would you want to? I was thinking right then that if Jack won't give my documents back to me, yes, I will surely press charges against him. I told the cop that I do not want to press charges against Jack unless he will return my documents as soon as possible. The cop grabbed the phone from Joe. Hello, Sir Jack, are you still there? Hello. Do you hear us? Jack said, yes sir, I'm still here. Miss Filipina told me that you got all of her documents. Just so you know, Miss Filipina can press charges against you and you can go to jail for having her documents on your possession. But she won't file charges if you return her documents as soon as possible. The cop questioned Jack twice, making sure if Jack heard him. How am I going to return her documents if you are taking her away? Jack raised his voice. Sir Jack, you will have to return the documents to us in our office. We will handle this case, and if we don't receive the documents within a month, we will press charges against you. This time it will be the law against you and not Miss Filipina. Did you hear that, Sir Ash? Jack was grunting on the other line. He seemed to be so pissed off, but I didn't care anymore. The cop said, Miss Filipina, we will take care of this case. If we don't receive your documents within a month time frame, we will press charges against Jack. It is over and we should leave. Finally, we were in the cop's car riding away from Joe's house. Miss Jane, the safe house manager, rode along with me all the way to the safe house. It took two cops' car, one drove me away from the state I was in and the second car picked me up at the borderline between two states. That night I was in the safe place where no one knew my whereabouts. The following day, as I stepped in on the Greyhound bus, I had great tears flooding down my cheek. It was tears of joy because I was finally free. The 30 months living with Jack as prisoner was a short period, but it was all hell. I'm glad that I broke free. I felt huge weight being lifted up as the bus drives away from that miserable state I was in. This is the end. I hope you have enjoyed listening through the episode and thank you for following this story. If you appreciate this podcast, please like and share. Thank you so much.